Good morning and welcome to this week's video. This week I'm really excited. We are here in Tennessee on the Appalachian Trail and we are in Cherokee National Forest, and we are doing a little bit of hiking, a little bit of photography. Whew, sorry, catching my breath for a moment. And then also a little bit of timber tracking. And so right now I'm doing some volunteer work with adventure scientists, and I'm doing some timber tracking of getting some samples of the eastern white oak. And so, oh my gosh, wow, just that little hill, my heart rate's up. Gotta prepare myself for Colorado in a couple weeks, sorry. But yeah, so I am doing some timber tracking of the eastern white oak. And so my goal today is to, 1, go for a lovely hike, 2, take some photos, and 3, and most importantly, collect at least 8 samples of the eastern white oak in the Cherokee National Forest. And so I'm excited. I actually kind of have a GPS kind of mapping going at this moment on my all trails, which I think I said in last week's video, I never do, but I am doing it for a particular reason, to make sure that I take my samples in the correct areas that I'm allowed to. And so part of the trail that I'm on is like not in the Cherokee National Forest, and so I want to make sure that with my GPS, and I kind of actually have 2 GPSs going to make sure that it's as accurate as possible, to just make sure that I'm taking the samples actually in the Cherokee National Forest and not like on private property. So taking a couple extra steps that I normally do when I'm out here on this hike this morning, but this is my first time being up here in Cherokee National Forest and the Appalachian Trail. And already, just from where I parked on Highway 19, I think it's US Highway 19 East, I parked along the side of the road just to catch the trail and stuff to go north. And the trail, oh my God, is so pretty. Oh my gosh, it's just very pretty. It's nice and shady. It's a cloudy day, which is fantastic. May have some rain later on, we'll see. But hopefully I can get these samples fairly quickly, so that way I don't have to wander too far to get my samples. So, but I'm just really excited because it's a beautiful morning to get out here for a hike. So anyways, without further delay, let's get the hike going. So I found a really nice, good size of a white oak, which is this tree that's sticking right out about the top of my head. But unfortunately, yeah, that's how big it is. Or at least I presume at this moment that it's an eastern white oak. Unfortunately, there's not any leaves low enough on the trunk for me to, 1, take a sample of, nor does the little tool that I have, this little saw type tool that I can throw up, nor do I think it will reach up to how high that those lowest branches are. So unfortunately, while this one's a pretty cool one, it's pretty big around, it's not going to be one I can take a sample of very easily. So I'm going to have to, I saw some little ones, but they're kind of like mixed in with a whole bunch of other ones, so it was a little challenging to get to. So going to keep looking for my tree. And so yeah, so I will in the description below, I will put the link to Adventure Scientist. So if you are curious and looking at ways to contribute to scientific research in any capacity, they have different projects that they do. So timber tracking is going on this summer, and it's with the eastern white oak, but I think last year they did something with the black walnut tree. And they do some other ones too that they do with like rivers, and I think maybe coral reefs is the other one. So you should check out their website to see if maybe you happen to live in an area or visiting an area that's doing any of this sort of research work if you're interested. Their training, like their little online training, was very thorough. They send you all the equipment. Yeah, so gonna keep hunting for my first tree sample. So just keep going. But yeah, in the description, I'll link their website so you can check them out if you're interested in doing some volunteer work. So I think I found my first white oak. I'm gonna do a little identification with the leaves, but I think I might found my first eastern white oak right there. So I'm gonna unpack my supplies and do a little tree identification, make sure that the leaves are in fact an eastern white oak. But I like the fact that to get my leaf samples, because I'll need 4 to 5, I need like 5 leaf samples. They're down low, so I don't even have to break out the saw tool that I have. So anyways, I'm gonna unpack my stuff to do some tree sampling. Woohoo! Yay! Success! Well, hopefully success. We'll find out in a moment. All my tree samples, and I tracked it on my little GPS thing, the survey GPS thing, and now I'm just disinfecting my tool that I use to help cut the branch so I don't cross-contaminate for my next tree sample. And it started to rain, so yay on the rain. So, but yeah, so now I'll be on the hunt for another eastern white oak. I need to be at least 100 meters away from this one to just make sure it's not like the offspring, as they call it. But yeah, it's you know, it's kind of fun just to feel like I'm a part of science and stuff. So I really have fun doing this stuff. So anyways, we're just gonna pack up my stuff and then continue on up the trail, try to find another eastern white oak to take a sample of. Let's just say I don't move very fast with doing this, but it's a lot of fun. So, it's raining a little bit more, and I thought I'd put on my new favorite camera accessory that, let's just be freaking honest here. It's ridiculous, but it's kind of freaking amazing. And that is my hat umbrella. Isn't this fantastic? So, it allows me to stay a little bit drier. My camera, which is on my clip right here, to stay a little bit drier because it's kind of really raining right now. And so, I'm so glad that I brought this hat umbrella. I may look freaking ridiculous, but it's secretly amazing. All right, took off my umbrella hat just so that way I could take a look better, but holy smokes, huge, huge, huge white oak tree. Yeah. Totally an eastern white oak. And how at first from a distance I thought it was a red oak, and then I saw some leaves on the ground. I'm like, oh no, you really are a white oak. And so this is ginormous. So hopefully I see some low enough branches. Hopefully I can get a good leaf and stem sample from this tree, because holy smokes, it's huge. So huge. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So definitely gonna try to get a sample from this oak tree, because oh boy, it is big. and I need a sample. So I'm gonna put my stuff down. Thankfully there's a nice rock right here that I can lay my stuff down, because I just like walk through this like really super swampy stuff and everything. Good thing I have an extra pair of shoes in my car for my drive home. So I'm gonna put my stuff down and gonna start doing my sampling and just to confirm that it is truly a white oak. Looking at the leaves, my first thought assumption is that it is, but we'll do a little bit more identification. But it's lobbed, and I'm gonna take some samples. And yeah, huge. Oh my God, it's so huge. We'll see if I can even get the tape measure around this trunk. I don't know if I'll be able to get the tape measure all around the trunk, so we'll might have to improvise with my sawtooth to wrap around it. So anyways, I'm excited. Whew. All right, so I got my second sample, and now I'm just kind of going up this. Now I'm going up the fucking mountain, and I'm already out of breath. Woo! This will be good training. I'm going to Colorado in a couple weeks, so be good altitude training, hiking straight up. So, but yeah, I just saw a blue bird that I don't know exactly what kind it was. My first guess is maybe like an indigo bunting or something like that. It wasn't a bluebird, wasn't a blue jay. It was really cool. Didn't have my 70-200 because there was no room in my pack for that with my other gear. Whew. Oh my God, I'm out of breath. So I made it up here to a little viewpoint with mountains that direction and mountains that direction. So just kind of a good hike up, and found this nice little cleared out spot. Some of the grass is really long along the trail. It was like waist to shoulder height, and I'm like just shy of 5 foot. So it's some really tall grasses and stuff. So definitely be doing a good thorough tick check when I get back to my car. So, but yeah, so definitely lots of what look like eastern white oaks, but a lot of them are really tall with no branches that are low for me to be able to grab a tree sample of the leaves or twigs or anything and stuff. So just try to make sure that I get good samples for their research. But this little area was really pretty. There was like some wild bee balm and some different other flowers, and I think some black-eyed Susans and stuff. So just lots of wildflowers up here on this little meadowy area up at the top. But I think I'm getting close to what I had marked as where I was gonna go north today. And so I think I'm just gonna kind of go just a little bit further that direction before heading back down. And then I may end up crossing Highway 19 and doing a little bit of the trail that goes south to see if I can't maybe find a couple more samples. So really hoping to try to get the rest of my samples out here today. But if I don't, and I'll just keep on looking for some eastern white oaks to get some good samples of. But it's really pretty. Mountains, flowers, pretty trails, forest. I love it. And from a photography standpoint, really pretty. Lots of compositions. If I wasn't trying to collect tree samples at the same time, totally would be like loading up my camera with photos. But I still think I got some really good photos that I'm sure I've already shown some of them to you, and I'll probably be showing some wildflower ones here in just a moment after I'm done talking. But we're gonna finish eating some beef jerky because I'm hungry, and drinking some water, and then heading up the trail. So anyways, we'll catch back in with you guys here in a bit. Woo! All right, so I went for a little ways into the southern side of the forest, and I didn't see any evidence of oak trees in that particular area. And because it's now around 1 p.m., I'm gonna head back. I have about probably 2.5, 3 miles or so back to my car, so we're gonna walk back to my car and see if I can't maybe spot any other samples on my way back of the eastern white oaks. But the good thing is for the most part it should be all downhill, so should be a little quicker, and hopefully the rain will just kind of stay at bay. But if not, I am set with both the rain jacket and my umbrella hat. So anyways, this is really pretty trail, guys. I'm happy that I kind of chose this area because it's someplace a little new and different for me. So I'm glad that I came out here and stuff today. So hopefully I can find the rest of my samples that I need and then do the 2+ hour drive back to my house. So yeah, there's some, by the way, massive trees. Like this, like maple, I think it's a maple, I'm not entirely sure, a tree is freaking huge. It's incredible how big some of these trees are, which means big tree means they are old. So yeah, pretty cool to see some of these ginormous trees along the trail and stuff. So yeah, anyways, we're just gonna keep on hiking. All right, so yes, my ridiculous umbrella hat's back on because it has started to like really rain, and was just trying to keep my stuff dry. And oh, there's a smudge on my camera. Sorry about that. So it's just starting to rain. I've just did my third sample, and we're just gonna continue on down the hill. So we'll see if I can't keep finding maybe some other white oaks that I missed on my way up, to maybe try to get some more samples. But I think the last time it's basically been an hour since the last time I think I mentioned time. Man. Yeah, so there's actually like 2 white oak trees. Okay, actually there's maybe like 3 or 4 white oak trees right up here and stuff. So, but yeah, so got another sample. Might have to put my rain jacket back on because it's raining pretty good. We'll keep my fabulous umbrella hat, which, by the way, I mean, seriously, it works really, really well. I may look the most ridiculous person imaginable, but it does a pretty freaking good job. I look at myself on my GoPro and I'm just laughing at myself. So I really hope you guys enjoy my umbrella hat because I look ridiculous. Just listen to all the birds. Other than the occasional car, because we're getting close to Highway 19, which is where my car is parked. I can hear someone right now. But there's so many birds and they're so active, and it's just, I love birds. I love trees. I love outdoors. I'm just a nature lover. I love photography and I love being outside. Hence why landscape nature photography works for me. That sounds like that's probably a semi.